One of the things that I realize is like when girls are flirting with you, they laugh at your jokes.
Yes.
So
That's true.
good-looking guys all think that they are really funny. This occurred to me because I was out flirting with a girl one time, and she was laughing at all my jokes and being all cute and flirting with me and stuff. And then later on in the evening, it comes out that she's a fucking stand-up comedian.
Really?
And then I realized that I wasn't funny, that she was just attracted to me, and I didn't know how to feel about that. I was like, well, fuck. Well, now what do I do? I hope I'm really actually funny. Because if I'm not, then I have no idea how to proceed.
Maybe you were sincerely funny.
Yeah.
That's nice of you.
Want to ring the bell?
I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass. And I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm a loner, Daddy. Rebel.
I am the walrus.
Hey everyone, if you've ever wanted John Hates Movies to review your movie choice, all you have to do to get in on the action is go to our Facebook page, John Hates Movies, post your movie review suggestion, as well as the member that you want to play this week's game for you. If that member is selected as the winner, we'll be watching your movie suggestion. Thanks a bunch, folks, and keep on listening to John Hates Movies. Hello, everyone, and welcome to John Hates Movies. This is the movie review podcast where my friends update my software to make me seem subtly more human. This time around, we are reviewing I don't know what to call it.
A movie?
A film, maybe? This might even go into film region here.
Yes, you could call this a film.
Can we call it a talkie?
Let's call it a talkie.
Yes.
The movie in question is, actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and start with the introductions, because I don't feel like talking about this movie quite yet.
I'm not ready for it.
No. It'll take we gotta ramp up to it.
John, I just need some time.
So this week, we have with us Eric Largent.
Tally ho.
We have James Barrup.
I'm taking them back. Taking them all back.
we have Colin McMillan.
Tally ho.
Hey.
What?
Colin, that's my thing. I say it for every podcast.
It's a quality intro.
It is.
You assholes are always trying to steal my things. James steals my non sequitur jokes. Colin's stealing my intros. You guys suck.
I have your pants.
The question is,
nobody does it better.
That's right. Eric is the best.
Problem is, Eric keeps taking all the good material.
Yeah. So,
the problem is Eric can write good material for himself, and then you guys just steal it.
Oh.
Man, we changed it a little bit, man. We make it better, man. It's our own,
Yeah, man,
like Quentin Tarantino.
Come on, man. I got no
Come on, man. Just get it.
Well, you guys are Tarantinoing me. If you feel like you did it better, then
I
it's yours
do this
now.
voice, right? Yeah,
Well, before you came on, John explicitly told me not to use the material that I write, so...
What? Are you serious?
Not in so many words.
No.
I pretty much just said it was terrible and it all sucked and he really shouldn't do it anymore.
He did it the John way, which is well, I'm not really sure, and I'm not sure yet, but I'm not sure it's working. Alright,
but you know what? We're not done yet with our introductions, and I'm just going to move right on. This week, we have a very special guest. It is Tabi Walters.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Yeah.
Tabi, do you want to introduce yourself a little bit? Tell us what your deal is.
Who's Devin?
Yeah, Tabi, what's your deal?
My deal, I don't know. I didn't prepare to talk about my deal. I'm Tabi Walters. I watch movies. I've watched movies since I don't know, I was a kid. We were friends.
I think that's when we all started watching movies, probably.
Not me.
I started in utero.
We were friends with a local video store owner, so we would get movies like before everyone else.
Whoa.
I know, right?
Or Netflix?
Yeah. Way before Netflix. No, I'm a graphic designer and freelance illustrator.
Is that video store still open?
No, it's totally not, which is sad.
That is sad.
That's a pretty common fate, it seems
video
like, for
store
video
still
stores.
I think
think
there's a couple family videos.
I was
Really?
going to say family. You know, even out here, out by Chicago, there's some family videos that kind of pop around every once in a while. And of course, there's always there's Redbox.
Oh, yeah.
You know, people still do the Redbox.
That's not really a video store, though.
They finally found a way to take
Sure
the
it
human
is.
element out of renting videos.
It's just it's a really tiny video store.
Vending machine for movies.
Yes.
And by elves.
And video
Yeah.
games.
There's little mice in there, and they you know, they do their thing.
So it's a
Oh, if
family
that
of
was
mice.
true, it would make me so happy.
Well, speaking of families of mice, let's talk about.
Well, I thought you were going to say speaking of families because you hadn't introduced your brother yet.
No, he did.
I did.
You
I did in the middle.
Oh, okay.
Remember,
I
he
forgot.
said he quoted the line from the podcast, the
that's
song.
Right.
Yep.
That's right.
Yeah.
One of my favorite movies of all time. Goonies.
So is he like the Asian kid that once he's introduced, you kind of forget him from Dusk Till Dawn?
I think it's just that we like
Oh,
try
Anyang.
and forget
Anyang.
about him.
Yeah. I honestly think, Tabi, you might be the only person who actually listened to the Dusk Till Dawn episode.
I did, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, I don't think we count, James.
Oh, what the hell happened, man? That's such a weird drop-off. My guess is that just...
I think a lot of people hate Tarantino so much they don't even want to listen to a podcast
that must
about
be
him.
it. Since let's go with that.
All right.
It's not us. It's Tarantino ruining everything again.
Yep. So let's talk about The Master. The Master. Yeah. So the Netflix description is a heavy drinking loner finds some semblance of a family when he stumbles onto the ship of Lancaster Dodd, the charismatic leader of a new religion. Yeah, it stars Joaquin Phoenix, Philip Seymour Hoffman, Amy Adams, and it was created by Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yes.
Netflix gives it 2 7/8 stars.
It looks
Another
an
one
awful
of
lot like 3 stars to me.
It almost does, except if you really look, there's a little bit there.
Oh,
It's a
what?
tiny
You're just trying to
sliver.
take away from it.
Not quite a star.
All right.
Okay, maybe you're right. Maybe it's 3 stars.
It looks like 3 stars to me.
I think heavy drinker is a pretty light description for hooch swilling sociopath,
Yeah.
which is how I would describe that character.
Yeah, I was actually kind of shocked to find out that Philip Seymour Hoffman character has a name. I had no idea it was...
Yeah.
Well, they when the police roll up to the house, they ask for Lancaster Dodd.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right.
So I don't know if anybody else did, but I watched this movie before recommending it, and then I said I would watch it again. Did anyone else watch it twice?
I did. Sadly. I mean, I did.
Whoa! Hey!
Oh,
Is
I
this
ran
going to be
out of
another one of
time.
those things where I'm the only one that likes the movie?
No,
It's
it's one of those. It's one of those movies where I felt that it was like a one-time watch. I was happy I saw it the first time. I wanted to see it. I was like, oh, that was a good film, but it's not something I'm like, oh, let's watch that again because that gave me good feels.
yes.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Well, who wants to start us off? Who wants to get the ball rolling? I mean, Eric, you typically always go first, and so I think this time we're actually going to start with James.
Okay.
Yeah.
When we announced what movie we were going to be watching this week, James posted a frowny face. So I wonder how James felt about this movie.
To be fair, I posted a horrified shock face. I watched it like 3 weeks ago, though, and I'm still processing it.
Wow.
See,
though.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I wanted to review this movie, because there's a lot to process in it.
Yeah, it's a good movie to talk about. There's no doubt about that.
It's very heavy. I was thinking today, I feel like I should probably drop some acid and watch this movie again, because then maybe it'll make more sense, because there's a lot of things I just didn't quite follow fairly.
Like what?
Okay. So
Eric's going to explain it to you.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it. Tell it to me.
Okay, one thing that I parallel to other shitty movies that we've watched already,
Whoa.
No, I'm sorry, that came out wrong. Other movies that happen to be shitty that we watched recently.
Okay.
Like From Dusk Till Dawn, where you've got Quentin Tarantino, who is psychologically damaged and hallucinates, and every now and then the hallucinations intercut with reality.
Yes.
Same sort of thing happens here, but in this movie they kind of do it right. And so, when he was being interviewed by the L.Ron Hubbard, because let's face it, this movie's about Scientology.
Oh, yeah.
And despite them calling him Lancaster Dodd, I'm surprised they didn't call him, P. Rod Scabbard or something.
I mean, they gotta veil it a little bit.
Well, considering how litigious the Church of Scientology is, absolutely,
Yes, it was about a cult similar to but legally distinct from Scientology.
Yeah, they didn't follow the exact line, but of Hubbard's life, because I know way more than any person has any right to about Scientology. So,
well, yeah, if you're not in the cult, you don't have a right to know.
That's true.
You have to pay for that information.
Church, Colin. What are you afraid of?
What are your crimes, Colin? Colin, what are your crimes?
Yeah, what are your crimes?
What are your crimes?
Remember a
word. What are
word.
your crimes?
Remember a word. Remember a word.
Can you imagine a word, Colin?
Imagine?
Can you imagine?
Pig fuck.
I mean, there's some good here. There's some genuine good.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, let me get, because, God, my mind is as scattered as L.Ron Hubbard's is when he's writing a book. When L.Ron is interviewing the damaged person, Joaquin Phoenix, for the first time, and he's quick-firing those questions, and he's like, keep your eyes open, if you blink, we have to start over. And they go into this whole deal where they kind of do a slow transition to him talking to the younger sister of a girl that he used to date back home.
No, that's her.
Oh, that's her. Okay.
Yes, that's her.
Yeah, and the girl was a younger sister of a friend, though. It's mentioned the first time he talks about her that she is the younger sister of one of his mates or something. She is somebody's little sister. It's a little weird.
Was that real, or was that part of
That's real. That was a memory.
Yeah, that's real. He wasn't imagining that.
Yeah, I'm not 100% positive there are any walking hallucinations in this movie.
Well,
there certainly
the
are.
part where everyone's naked.
When he turns everyone
that
naked.
didn't really happen?
No.
No.
It became a naked party. That's why Amy Adams was so upset.
All of a sudden, it was some
second
real
their
magic
clothes
of Scientology right there.
Yeah, one second their clothes are on, the next second they're off.
I didn't even notice that was a thing. I thought more people kept arriving, and the people that kept arriving just happened to be naked.
He just imagined all the women.
You're making that up. You didn't think that. You didn't think that.
I did.
I give kudos to him for imagining all the women naked, young or old. It didn't matter.
Yeah.
He was
determinative. Some of the actresses in that scene were pretty brave.
Yeah.
So good on them.
Dude, no, when I'm 80, I will totally be naked in front of anyone. I'm like, ha!
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the whole point of being 80 is just to be naked all the time.
I mean, do you anticipate that you're going to look really good at that age? I mean,
no.
I'm just asking, just for science.
Yeah, I know that I am not going to... actually, who am I kidding? I'm not going to make it at 80. But if I do, it'll be naked time all the time.
Yep.
Probably not.
Who wants to live forever anyway?
They probably won't let me be naked wherever I end up.
What are they going to do, fire you?
Yeah.
Yes, from my bagging job.
You're the greeter at Walmart.
Yeah.
And you just
Hey,
show up naked.
Oh.
that's
You
that's
have
the
to
kind of
wear
world we
pants
live
for
in.
this job. It's a one requirement.
I quit.
Quit. All right,
So
so James.
So I actually thought
We're trying to keep you on track here.
Yeah, well, you guys went on that tangent. I just sort of sat back and relaxed.
That's true.
So yeah, I just thought that maybe he was the Hubbard character was actually talking him through a hypnotic memory, like was building something for him. But
No, I think that was a memory.
Yeah, I think that was a real thing.
Yeah.
but yeah, there's
Because he goes back there.
yeah, there are a lot of weird bits like that, like a lot of slow, soft edits that kind of made me lose the beat on what exactly was going on. And like when did he steal the motorcycle? I mean, that's pretty much
He just
and
kept
then he just
going.
ran away, right? Okay.
Yeah, he drove off with the motorcycle.
Well, Dodd tells him to, drive as fast as far as you can.
To a point,
and then
yeah.
I think he just took him super literally.
I think he just ran away. I think he was gone.
Yeah, that's one
That
of the
went to
problems with
bullshit
this
then.
movie.
There's not really much context for any of the action.
Yeah.
Yep.
A timeline would have been nice to know, like, how much time passed in between everything.
Yeah, you don't really have any concept of how much time passes in the course of this entire movie.
There was one montage, at least.
They
Yeah.
say it a couple times.
Yeah, this fucking movie had a montage. Where's the montage in The Untouchables?
Yeah.
This one has one, really? Come on.
You don't need a montage. Montage.
No, you don't.
So, honestly, probably the only other thing I have to say about this movie is that Joaquin Phoenix was fucking great in it.
Yes.
Amazing
Yeah.
performance. I almost,
Yeah.
I can almost completely forgive him for that I'm not there fucking self-important publicity grab bullshit that he did for like 3 years.
I feel like you should forgive him for it. He's like this is really one of the best acted roles I've ever seen.
Yeah.
It really is.
Yeah.
It gives me hope for Doctor Strange. He
Is
actually
he in
is.
Doctor Strange?
He is, I believe, like the front runner to be signed on to do it.
That's
So-
exciting.
He's strong.
He is, but if I'm being honest, I think I'm pretty tired of seeing him play a weirdo. Like he just always plays a fucking weirdo. And
Well,
I'm
so
not disputing your claim, and I'll get it a little.
Wasn't he in Zodiac?
No,
No.
it's not.
Okay.
No, Jake Gyllenhaal.
It was Mark Ruffalo.
Jake Gyllenhaal, Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
And
Jake
something.
Gyllenhaal was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I thought. I think Joaquin Phoenix does a really good job as Freddie Quill. Like, yeah, he acts the role superbly, but Freddie Quill is a completely unlikable character with no redeeming qualities whatsoever. And so, he does a great job at it, but it's like I just hated that character so much. He made me very uncomfortable through the entire movie.
Well, so what it made me think is in everyday life we deal with people who are like they're members of society, but they're a little bit off, and we can all tell that they're a little bit off, and that there's something not okay with them,
Mm-hmm.
and like they're not like clawing at the walls and chewing up the scenery and like lunatics, but there's something just a little bit wrong with them.
Yeah.
And I thought Joaquin Phoenix did that perfectly.
I agree.
Like, and then about how he plays. A lot of times it seems like the characters he plays, that it's true, have something wrong with them.
Mm-hmm.
But like, how many of like say Jack Nicholson's characters have ever been sane?
Right.
Like some actors just play crazy people.
Really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I've
don't
yet
know.
to see Walk the Line, so
Yeah, I haven't
Oh
seen it
yeah, I
either.
haven't seen that either.
Oh no, he's sane. Johnny Cash wasn't insane.
No.
So
Right.
yeah, because I was like, well, he might have, been a little wacky in that one. I don't know, but
no, he wasn't. He played it straight.
So, are we still officially on James, or are we just round
I
tabling
think
here?
I'm done.
All right.
Yeah, I think James is done. I think he had a pretty tight tight review this time, you know. I mean, well, James, where do you fall on this? I mean, like, if somebody held a gun up to your head and said, "Damn it, tell me how you feel about the Master,"
like John is doing right now.
Yep. Tell me.
Okay, it's obviously good. I would probably watch it again. It's not a party movie. It's very heavy.
Unless it's a naked party.
If I wanted to give somebody a light introduction into why Scientology is crazy, I'd show them this movie. I liked it. It's good. Freddie Quill wasn't a likable character. At the same time, like, Freddie Quill's obviously broken, and then these people take complete and total advantage of him.
Yeah.
So it's, despite the fact that he's an unlikable, you still feel some sense of remorse for how they manipulate this guy?
See, I saw it a little bit differently, and I'll get into it.
I don't know, maybe I didn't necessarily feel that way, but it was very heavy.
Yeah.
Oh, that's for sure.
No doubt about that.
Absolutely.
It was a mouthful of toothpaste.
Definitely.
I wanted to really like this movie, but I can just say it's good, and if you're in a mood to watch something kind of depressing, watch it.
Yeah.
Depressing, the key word here. I'm going to say, Tabi, you're next.
Exciting. I actually took notes, so.
Ooh.
Okay.
Awesome.
Got professional here.
So I guess this is just kind of musings as I was rewatching it. Like I said, it was when I first watched it, I thought it was a good one-time view, but not something that I would seek to watch again. I was wondering, if you see like cocks and pussies in any picture that you see, does that mean everything's pornography for you? So like real pornography, does that like do nothing for him?
I don't think so. No.
Because if you see it everywhere.
Did he see wieners everywhere?
Well, when they're doing the Rorschach test, every answer was a vagina.
A vagina, or
You're the one obsessed with sex. You're the one who keeps showing me dirty pictures.
Right.
The date he went on, cautionary tale to women, have naked time after you get the meal, not before.
Right.
Oh man.
Because he was out and asleep.
Well, to me, he was drunk. Like he just drank a bunch of that and then passed out at the table on their date.
I don't even think they even really got naked and did it. Did they?
I don't think so.
They got a little naked in the back room.
And he was giggling like a complete weirdo the whole time.
Did he just drink a bottle of Listerine and fill it back with water?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
I thought you could drink Listerine, like literally.
Not anymore, but back then you certainly could.
You can still drink it.
Really?
It'll be really.
Yeah, but it's not the same thing. There's no.
He was drinking paint thinner and ethanol.
This dude was spilling.
He would drink anything.
Yeah, he was drinking like straight
when
poison.
He was making his hooch, he was just doing like alcohol and turpentine and all this stuff, and I'm like,
wasn't he doing wasn't there like film developer too?
Yes.
And one. Oh my god.
And I don't know if anybody else picked it up, but when he opened up the torpedo, he was draining the ethanol from it. To drink the ethanol,
he was drinking some nasty toxic shit.
I thought that stuff is deadly. Like,
wow,
it is.
Wow.
It is.
So that's why the old guy died. They're like, you
Like,
poisoned
not if you
him.
drink it
He's
smart.
Like, we all drank the same thing.
No, at the beginning, like when he was doing his examination, he was talking about how he was having kidney failure from all the stuff that he drank.
Yeah.
I missed that too.
Yeah. Yep. When he was doing the like debriefing with his officer.
When he asked the girl to have sex with him in the note, at least he wrote a smiley face. That was very sweet. I'm like, come on.
That was
That's a pretty bold move. I think I'm gonna try that sometime.
That was it was such a weird like juxtaposition of things because he doesn't really seem like a smiley face kind of guy.
But it definitely says like if you ask something with a smile, like you're more likely to. But still, the situation.
On the other hand, I would also believe that Freddie Quill's the kind of person that only sees everybody's faces as like a giant smiley face. Like that's all he sees on top of people's necks.
Yeah.
Did anyone else try not to blink when he told them not to blink? Like, I totally, like...
Yes.
I was like...
Absolutely.
I thought about it and then went, fuck that. Philip Seymour Hoffman, you can't tell me what to do.
I was like, I'm being asked these questions and I'm having a hard time not blinking. It's the power of suggestion. When someone tells you not to do something, it's really hard. You're like, oh, but I want to blink now, because now that I'm thinking about not blinking, I want to blink.
I'm blinking right now.
I just blinked.
I haven't blinked in a while.
Hey,
Guys, I can't stop thinking about elephants.
Guys.
Here's the question for you guys. So okay, the whole like 16-year-old finding guy in uniform hot. Women find men in uniforms hot. Do guys find women in uniforms attractive?
Hell yeah.
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 Lovely Rita, meet a maid.
Stripper uniforms, hell yeah.
Stripper uniforms aren't real uniforms.
Yes, to a certain extent, I do find women in uniforms attractive.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, it depends on the, like, I imagine it depends on the uniform. Obviously, I mean, clowns wear uniforms. I don't think women find, well...
Oh man, that's so hot.
I was just saying that,
Clowns are creepy. I could...
Historically, uniforms are kind of designed for careers that men would be in, so they are designed to accentuate masculine features. So,
like nurses' uniforms.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, okay, make a good point.
That's true.
But see, nurse uniform is very
Scrubs are
sexy,
so hot.
but
Oh, I know.
yeah, no, not scrubs. Fuck scrubs.
Scrubs are hot.
So the term
Scrubs are
hello,
fucking
nurse
terrible.
Scrubs are hot. I love girls in scrubs.
Really?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Colin just likes PJs. He just likes PJs. If it looks like PJs, he's
I love
like,
my girls in PJs. That's like actually a thing. Like
PJs are cute, but
You know.
God, scrubs are just like boner killer. They're
no, not
terrible.
for me. Not for me.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Have you guys ever seen the movie Better Off Dead?
Oh,
No.
hell yeah.
There's a part when he has lighter fluid in a mason jar and he brings it to the table and the mom blows up and he's, gee, Ricky, I'm sorry your mom blew up. They lit cigars right after drinking on mason jars and I like half expected them to blow up right there. What they were
They
doing.
probably should have.
Because I swear Ricky's mom in Better Off Dead drank the same thing and she lit a cigarette and she blew up. Just saying.
That's a good
Yeah.
movie. It's worth watching.
It's definitely a classic 80s. I love how Joaquin Phoenix just made people uncomfortable the way he stood. It's like the way his arms were, just like the way people...
Oh God, yeah.
That was a good acting move.
That was part of him being a person that's just a little bit off.
Right.
It's like just little things in conversation, like when he's talking to the girl's mom at the very end of the movie, and he goes, "Oh, am I leaving?" Like when she says, "I'll tell everyone you said hi," and he goes, "Oh, am I leaving?"
Yep.
Yeah.
Like they're just things that are a little bit off,
He did
but it's like perfect.
He did a classic one throughout the movie, which is actually like a documented thing. He only smiles on the left half of his face.
Yeah,
and
Yep,
that's
yep.
a cue for being disingenuous.
Really?
Actually, so. Yeah, if you look at Kubrick's Clockwork Orange, your main character in Clockwork Orange smiles like that too. So yeah, like just smiling on the left side of your mouth is like if you want to make people uncomfortable and them to not know why, smile on the left side of your face.
Or just walk up and punch him.
Yeah, or just write them a note with a smiley face that says, "Do you want to fuck?"
Oh, the funny thing is I've actually been written a note that had a smiley face that said something similar to that. But anyway, that's another story. We gotta laugh. I was like,
You gotta admire
I
their
know,
pluck
right?
at least.
They got moxie.
I have a fear of people snooping through my stuff during parties. It's like, so when he's looking through their house and like stuff, I was like, that hit a trigger for me. I was like, well, I guess it's because when I set up for parties, like I start by organizing, putting things away, and then I get to a point where I just start shoving things in drawers. So I'm like, you could open a drawer in my house and find anything that does not belong.
A small child.
Does yelling make you more right? Yes.
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 Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
That was a pretty good job of them, like just making him not like it's an emotional conversation. It's not a scientific conversation for him.
Right.
As Colin so eloquently put, pig fuck.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they got kicked out of the party. Surprise.
Right.
Gosh,
That
what
was-
are
I
the
know.
four?
Shocker. If someone knocks on your door at 3 a.m. saying they have a gift for you, don't fucking answer the door.
Yeah, no, never open it.
It's my fist.
Dude, that's what I thought too. It's like, okay, I know this is 1950, but even then, people had to
I
know.
know.
Somebody knocking on your door at 3 a.m. Somebody that was pissed off at you earlier in the day and is creepy knocking on your door at 3 a.m. That can't be good news.
But I swear people do that stupid stuff in real life, but you're like, when you see it in movies, you're like, why are you answering the door? You keep the door closed and you call the cops. Or you say you're calling them.
No, you
Yeah.
call the cops.
What if it's the police? They're knocking at your door at 3 o'clock in the morning. They
Call-
want to give you a gift.
No, you still call the cops because what if it's somebody pretending to be
Exactly.
the police?
Plus,
No.
really, do you want the gift from the police?
What if it's cake?
Police here. What do you want? Cake? I don't have any. No, sir. We have some for you.
All
Okay.
right.
Definitely open the door at 3 a.m. for cake.
You won our annual police cake drawing.
It's 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, they got us working overtime. It's real rough.
out there.
Yeah. We got about 12 more cakes to deliver here.
Yeah, look, if they
Anytime you want to open this door and get your cake.
Hey, if you want a tax hike to pay for more officers to deliver you more cake at noon, be my guest.
Definitely.
Yes.
So he broke the toilet. That's
Yeah.
like the crappiest thing, literally, you could do to yourself when you're locked in a cell. Because it's like, where are you going to go after that?
Yeah, he's not much
No.
of a planner. We learned in that scene.
But I also don't think he's much of the type of person that would be bothered too much by
Toilet.
not having a toilet.
Yeah.
Like he's never crapped in his own bed before.
And at least guys
Right.
can pee standing up, but like, for a woman, like, if you break the toilet, you're like, fuck.
I wouldn't pay to see a woman break a toilet like that. I mean, fuck this! Actually,
Wait, what are you
Say
saying?
women can't break toilets.
What do you
huh?
what? Yeah. Is it,
no, I'm saying they can. I'm just saying they usually...
Sounds like a woman breaking a toilet would be quite a spectacle to you, John.
Yeah, you said you'd pay to see that.
Yeah, I mean, so you want to put a
What
woman
kind
on
of
display
crazy fetishes are you
in
into?
a cell breaking a toilet?
Yeah.
Moving on.
You need to check your privilege, John.
No, you're right. You're right. But still, isn't it kind of a funny... Okay, no.
Okay,
Next season
John,
on Red Orange
I
is the
would
New
have a hard
Black.
time breaking a toilet. Like, I would hurt myself before I hurt the toilet.
Well, I wouldn't be able to break a toilet. I was actually pretty
broke the
impressed by the
toilet,
fact that
yeah.
he was able to do it.
Nah, don't sell
Yeah.
yourself short.
No, I'm pretty sure I can't
I
break a
wonder,
toilet.
like,
That was
during
a prop
filming,
toilet.
how many toilets did he break? Did they replace the toilet? Was that, like, in one shot?
They couldn't have done that scene many times because, like, when he's slamming his head against the bottom of the thing, like,
Yeah.
he's
Right,
really
yeah.
doing some damage. Like, he hurt himself doing that scene. He really did.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix didn't go halfway with that scene.
Yeah.
No.
He brought it
So
home.
do you think he did, like, a
Yeah.
half-assed one, and then, like, could you kind of destroy your cell a little more? And he's like, fuck this, and then he just goes berserk.
I get the feeling he doesn't do anything half-assed. Like,
Really?
No,
yeah.
he was probably just phoning it in, and they were like, "Man, we got to get a reaction out of this guy." Hey, Joaquin, Adrian Brody was really good in The Village, and he was just
Like, he changed his life for 2 years for a movie bit. Like,
Yeah, that's
he
retarded.
he's super committed to this
next
stuff.
time.
He really is.
Next time, he
Next
should
time.
try acting.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah.
Acceptance is a powerful thing.
Mm-hmm.
It looked like fun hanging on those nets when he was over the water.
Yeah,
That made me want to do
definitely.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can
that
I
would be
just say
cool.
that all the boat scenes made me wish that I joined the Navy when I was younger, and I thought that I could never handle any armed service. I honestly wish that I just went ahead and joined the Navy because that looks fucking the life.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think there's
I-
there's an appeal to
Yeah.
being out on the open
I-
sea.
You got to have
You-
sex
and-
with the beach, and that's
I know.
that's weird.
Like, the whole beginning of the movie is you see them dealing with the monotony that becomes
Right, yeah.
service like that.
It's like waiting.
Yeah. Well, there's also a lot of discipline that comes with being in the armed forces.
What you saying, Eric? Huh?
That you're maybe the least disciplined person I've ever met.
You also have to jerk off into the ocean, and that's
that bothered me.
Feed the fishes?
I don't know. I don't know why you didn't go in
now.
Why would you stand on the beach and just do that? Why not go into the... I mean, it's perfect cover.
I don't understand. Yeah. I was thinking the exact same thing.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have to watch that movie, that would have been the point when I turned this off. I'm dead serious.
Like 2 minutes in?
2 minutes in.
Yeah.
I don't need this.
Extended humping of the sand lady was...
Oh, I know. Then
I
he
was
started
like, well,
figuring
at
her
least-
and licking... I was like, okay, that, like... Everyone's laughing, and then everyone stopped laughing because they're like, okay,
Yeah, because it's sad and it's... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad and depressing.
Yeah.
At least it set the tone correctly.
True. Yeah, they definitely set the tone for his character.
Yeah.
So the part when he says pick a point and go that way, he never told him to turn around. It's kind of like, okay, and after 15 minutes, turn around and come back.
See ya.
Point. You never told him to turn around. It's your own fault. And then when he's so far away, him yelling at him. He's not gonna hear you. Why are you yelling? But I loved his expression when he was like almost gonna speak, and then he stopped himself and he kind of tilted his head. Yeah.
Once he figures out that he's like basically well and truly going
Point
away
and not coming back. Wow. He's
Well,
going fast.
okay.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about we're talking a lot about Joaquin Phoenix acting, but let's not undersell Philip Seymour
No,
Hoffman.
he did an amazing job.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Like he carried the charisma of that character.
And if you ever actually watch like interviews with L.Ron Hubbard, like old interviews, he got him like spot and his humor like spot on when he did that bit where he introduced the split saber and was doing the little speech, and he was like, "This is very, very serious."
Yeah,
that's exactly the type of jokes that L.Ron Hubbard would always do.
James, you make me want to learn about Scientology.
It's absolutely fascinating in a train wreck fashion.
Oh, nice. I actually don't know anything about Scientology.
Oh, John, as soon as you put up this episode, James is going to have people knocking on his door.
I know.
At 3 in the morning with cake.
Yep. We have some cake for you, Mr. Vera.
James, do you want some cake from the Church of Scientology?
No, thanks. Sure, it's delicious, normal cake.
It has no thetans.
Oh, yeah.
Thetans.
So when he went to the girl's house, I forgot her name, Doris.
Yep,
Doris.
I was like, the whole time, I'm like, okay, wait, how long has it been? It was 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah, I did the math because like she was 16 when he left, and then now she's 23. Okay, got it.
It's the only clue of a time frame in the whole movie.
Who believes a woman's going to wait for you for 7 years after no word?
Me.
Really?
Well, now hang on, and I'll actually defend.
It all depends on where I left them.
I'll defend. I'm going to defend the writing of this movie in this case because.
Honey, are you still in the pit? Hello, I brought some more lotion.
Like what they
Who puts the lotion?
Lancaster Dodd and all of his group are continuously poking at this Doris issue in Freddy's head. So he's revisited these memories over and over again, and he's not allowed to let them rest. It's actually really not surprising that he would go back there because they're making him think about it all the time. And he didn't go back for 7 years. He was kind of over it before. It might have been a tiny little regret in the back of his brain, but this is all they've let him have for the last X amount of time. So like, it's not, I don't think it's about him thinking that she would wait for him. I just think it's about him not being allowed to put the issue down.
Yeah,
I
that
can
makes
see
sense.
that.
So I'll defend the writing in that case. And by and large, I actually thought the writing was really solid in this movie, but I'll get to that when it's my turn.
It was.
Yeah. Any guy knows another guy, if not themselves, who has tried to reconnect with somebody from long ago in their past. Not necessarily to be like, oh, let's pick up where we left off. Just be like, hey, how are you doing? Maybe there might be something that, again,
oh my God,
and the very slimmest chance.
I I am so that man. I'm like 3 of that man, and I've done it probably like 4 times.
Really?
You
Oh
know
my
that
God,
you know
I
that
am
the
an
chances is
insufferable
like
romantic.
1 in 99%. But what you're saying is there's still a chance.
You're telling me. I've always been an insufferable romantic, and John can corroborate that.
Yeah, I can.
Oh my God, and I'm always talking about some girl from 5 years ago or whatever.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true.
Even when he's with a girl now, I mean, if he's with a girl, he'll talk about some girl from 5 years ago.
Ha,
Really?
joke's on you. I'm not with anybody right now. Ladies.
Hello, future girlfriends. This is a sound of my voice.
Wait, what just happened?
I just made a
When
very
you're talking
old
about the
internet
sound of your
meme.
voice and then you cut out.
he goes, hello, ladies, the sound of my
He
voice.
goes, okay, there is one of the very first like internet websites to go up was this kid who was in middle school who basically made the very first MySpace page, and when you loaded it went, "Hello, future girlfriend. This is the sound of my voice."
Oh, creepy.
That was me.
Oh, okay.
I did that.
Oh, really? That was great.
I-
That wasn't creepy at
I
all.
was the internet.
You were the internet.
Back before there was one, I was it.
Okay, so my last thought on this movie, and then we can go on to other people's thoughts, is who's the master? The master or his wife?
Ah!
Mm.
I stroke my chin because you can't see it, so I'm just saying. That's my thought.
The third master is alcohol.
Alcohol, yeah.
No kidding.
No,
Like
she makes him quit by, remember jacking him off in the bathroom? She's like, "You're going to stop drinking the soup now, honey."
Yeah, well, no, but
Just rewarding that behavior.
Freddie Quill had 2 different masters, and that's kind of where the movie left, is him trying to not serve a master anymore, but he's not going to be able to do that, obviously.
Right.
Well, he stops drinking for a little while, doesn't he?
I never got
No.
that. I think that he made it for about a half hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah, he really never stopped.
I mean, I don't even mean half hour movie time. I mean half hour Freddy time. Like literally 30 minutes of his life.
Like as soon as the wife tells him to stop drinking, he probably 30 minutes later goes out on the front porch and slams his flask.
Yep. Next scene, he's got the flask and he kills the whole thing.
But to be fair, he didn't have the same motivation as the other guy. I'm just saying.
Right.
Yeah.
No. Lancaster just wanted to get weird.
Yes.
He can do whatever he wants, just as long as she doesn't find out about it.
He was like, "Let's get weird. Let's get weird.
Yep. Let's get weird.
Let's get weird."
Yeah. Nobody else watches Workaholics. Okay.
Who wants to go next?
Me.
Go, Colin, go!
Okay.
Yeah, so this movie, The Master, it was a lot of fun. Like if you like waiting in line at the DMV or something, this movie might appeal to you.
Oh, that's so much fun.
I don't know, like this is one of those, I have a hard time with it because I have to acknowledge the quality of this movie. And there's nothing, top to bottom, you've got great production, great writing, great characters, great actors. But it's like, every part of this movie is portrayed correctly, and they did due diligence in making it. It's a period movie from 1950, just post World War II, and everything that needs to be there for that is there. But they don't shove it down your throat too hard about the time period or whatever. They do mention it a couple times specifically, but I had a really hard time enjoying this movie because even though everybody does a great job in it, and it's structurally so sound, nothing good happens in this movie, and there are no likable characters whatsoever. And this movie practically, doesn't have a protagonist. It has a main character, but you're supposed to somehow, the protagonist is generally supposed to be the window to the audience, and if you leave this movie going, I really related to Freddie Quill, I would, never talk to you again,
That, I think, so this movie was made, a year or 2 after P.T. Anderson did There Will Be Blood. And there were a lot of similarities between this and There Will Be Blood. I don't know if you ever saw that, Colin.
No, I do not.
There's no protagonist in that. There's no... Another thing that P.T. Anderson did in this movie is he didn't have any, large conflicts to drive plot. There weren't any large plot devices or MacGuffins.
Yeah,
I guess
it's
is
more
what
like a
they're
like
called.
a slow simmer in terms of the events that are going on. Like you get these clues, and sometimes things said straight up, like when he's arrested for essentially stealing money from this foundation and everything. It's made very clear throughout the movie that there's something really wrong with this organization, that it's a sham. Dodd's son comes right out and says that it's all bullshit.
Yeah.
Yet it's not like there's ever any driving event or a conflict where they're like, oh man, but we have to make this happen right now or whatever. It's just sort of a chain of events and a lot of hints at what's going on under the surface.
Yep.
Which is, I don't have a problem with that. I think that's fine. But this is the kind of movie where if I was going to recommend it to somebody, I'd have to really know what kind of a person I was talking to. I think Devin was smart when he said, well,
Devin would not have been able to sit through
and
this
he
movie.
he knows what he is, and so he just was like, yeah, I'm not going to bother.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now he's missing out on some good art. If you want to call this kind of movie art.
I think
do
you
too.
can.
I think so. I think so. I think it has value.
Art when we start calling it a film rather than
Right.
Well, and another reason that I wanted to call it a film is because it was actually filmed on 65 millimeter stock. It was the first time that anyone had done that in 20 years. Like this, they actually use like wide angle format film, and like P.T. Anderson was trying to bring it back. The movie looked beautiful.
I agree.
Yeah, I mean, the movie looks great.
There's certainly a very distinct quality to it that sets it apart from many, many, many other contemporary films, and that must be it. And, it's paced differently. It's paced a little bit more like an old movie.
Yeah.
But I didn't think I thought that was the right choice for this material. Philip Seymour Hoffman is phenomenal in this movie. There's no question about that. Anybody that would think that he didn't do a good job is just trying to be cool. And failing, because if you pick Philip Seymour Hoffman as your guy that you're going to go after as overrated, you're just like, sorry, that's just stupid,
Right.
Now he's no stranger to playing unlikable characters.
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Has anybody else seen the movie Before the Devil Knows You're Dead? The way he played Dodd in this sort of reminded me of that movie, because it's a character where, you want at some point to see some heart out of this character, some humanity, but really barely relatable, even to the very end of the movie. I also thought Amy Adams was really good, but another character that I just absolutely hated. I hated every character in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not 100% positive on where Amy Adams was going with that. What was the...
Well, that's what I was wondering, too, with a lot of the characters, but hers in particular, I'm sort of going, what's the angle here? Is this the whole... Did the writer sit down and go, I'm just going to write this character as a colossal bitch? And
she was Mary Sue Hubbard, who was convicted in leading the largest criminal infiltration of the... pretty much the largest intelligence agency, I want to say the FBI or the CIA at the time.
Really?
Because, Hubbard was paranoid that the government was keeping tabs on him. And they were, but not nearly as much as he thought. So he had Mary Sue and a bunch of other Scientologists infiltrate and steal documents from the CIA.
Good God.
Or I believe the FBI, because the CIA doesn't operate in borders. So.
See, that sounds like a fascinating movie.
Yeah.
Why wasn't this that?
Where was that?
James, how do you know so much about Scientology?
He can't tell you.
I was born clear, so So that's why I seem all spacey and not together, because I just operate at a plane above you guys.
That's why he's
so.
I understand.
He doesn't need discipline anymore.
Exactly.
That's right.
I operate on a discipline that is above your understanding. So
exactly.
That makes sense.
Yep, he has grown beyond the needs of mortal
He's
discipline.
been cleansed.
And is
Well, I'm
subject
always
to
late because-
space discipline.
I operate on galactic time.
Oh.
Hour and minutes time that you guys. So,
You're late, James. Yeah, if you believe in clocks. Clock's just a theory. So all in all, this was a really quality film, but really uncomfortable
Yeah.
to watch. And I hated the main character, and I didn't. And the end left me just kind of confused, but I didn't feel like I didn't understand the movie. I felt like I got what I needed to get out of it. I just sort of was like, what do I do with this information?
Right.
The end of the movie being like spoilers, and then our character left and hooked up with some British girl. The end. Very interesting sort of study of the culture of Scientology, the brook no argument, ask no questions,
right?
That sort of thing. And I did like what they did when they referenced that there's discrepancies between his written works. I like that. I mean, we already kind of knew by that point that he was full of shit, but that was a nice little cap on that. So,
well, I kind of am not realizing the L.Ron Hubbard connection. I don't know, Eric. I'm gonna let you take it home today.
Okay.
So I'm gonna say my piece here. This movie was not for me.
Yeah, and Jersey Girl wasn't for critics.
Right. I don't know who this movie was for, but this movie was not for me. I mean, this movie was without exposition at all. Mm-hmm. And I've never seen that in a film before. And I didn't realize how important it is for somebody like me to have that there. Because without that context, I had no idea what anybody's motivations were. And because I couldn't determine their motivations, I couldn't figure out exactly what I was supposed to feel. Mm-hmm. Besides sad and depressed and tired. Eric, do you want to bring us home? Tell us why we...
Tell us why it's all going to be okay.
So I took a few little notes, and then I'll probably have a few more things to say, and that'll be it. So I guess nobody else here had seen There Will Be Blood, right? Am I right saying
I saw that movie, yeah. I didn't know it was the same person.
Yeah, I saw about 15 minutes of it, and then I just kind of walked away from it.
Wow, okay. So the first thing I noticed when I turned this on, I knew it was P.T. Anderson, the same guy that had done that. But as soon as the score starts, you can hear like rattling and knocking as being part of the music in the movie, and I immediately noticed that it was Johnny Greenwood, the same guy that did the score for There Will Be Blood. It's the lead guitarist from Radiohead.
Oh wow! That's cool.
And he's got a really distinctive like style of how he scores these movies. Like specifically in There Will Be Blood, the scene where the oil well explodes and is on fire, and it's just like a cacophony of rattling is the score. Yeah. Like he did some of that in this movie, but there weren't big scenes for him to build that kind of momentum towards in this movie. One of the notes I made is, this is Joaquin Phoenix's first movie since he did the I'm Still Here, and it's amazing how different he looks. Like he must have lost like 70 pounds to be in this movie. Like at the end of the movie, when he hugs Philip Seymour Hoffman, like he's standing sideways toward the camera, and like he's increrebly thin.
He's very lean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not like Machinist thin, but still pretty freaking thin.
He's almost Machinist thin to me. Like, at least the drinking the ethanol out of torpedo, I already mentioned that. It's just an amazing scene. So the second time I watched it, I tried to count the amount of cuts during the processing scene where Dodd and Freddy are sitting there and Dodd's asking the rapid fire questions. And like I forgot count. There aren't very many, but like just the acting between those two guys in that scene, and it's just like just go. And I don't know, it was pretty awesome. Like those are two really great actors, like just locked in on one scene. So after this obviously was, I liked the movie a lot, but it wasn't without like faults. And one of them was after they get kicked out of the party, after Dodd, blows up on the guy just asking questions. He's sitting in his office banging away on his typewriter, and Amy Adams is like ranting. And one of the things she says is, "We're not going to make any progress unless we attack. We need to go on the offensive. We need to attack." And I was like, "Oh, okay. So maybe that's what Freddy's going to be doing in this movie. Like he, is he going to be like their foot soldier?" Like so, right. So like that was a bit of a Chekhov's gun that they hung and never really fired in the movie.
Right.
So that, I guess that was a bit of a misdirect.
Well, I think what's going on there is if you think about it in terms of the long game of the movie as a whole, you're showing that there are people that are urging him to do things, but he does nothing because he has nothing. He's got nothing. How can he attack people? He can't disprove any other theories, and he can't prove his own. So I think that you can't think of that scene as an island. You got to think of it in the context of the movie as a whole, which makes you stumble a little bit when you're watching that scene and you haven't seen how the rest of the movie goes. But
for me, it seemed like, once you get into the movie a bit and realize that this guy is full of shit, it really feels like his motivation for starting this whole cult. It seems like he's a performer and he wants people's attention. Like, it's really just he wants to be important. He wants people's attention. And he wants to perform for them, and he wants people to like him. And I guess it came down to the end. Well, throughout the movie, you could tell that Amy Adams was jealous of Dodd's relationship with Freddie, and how close they were. At the end of the movie, you're not really sure, but it seems a lot like Dodd almost has a little bit of a thing for Freddie when he's singing the Slow Boat to China song to him.
Right.
Well, that scene was so confusing for me.
Yeah, like.
Seriously, like, what is happening?
So he definitely loves Freddie, and like that's why he keeps him around. He doesn't just keep him around to make him moonshine. Like, he genuinely loves Freddie. It's just I don't know how far that love went. It's kind of ambiguous. It was really cool to see. So you could tell that Dodd, he didn't necessarily believe everything he was saying, but his wife, his daughter, and his son-in-law were all in. And like the lady whose house they stayed at in Philadelphia was all in. They just all got swept up, and obviously so is Freddie. They just get swept up in this guy's cult of personality, and it's really cool to see how they did, how they did that in this movie. The very last, the last thing I've got is, and it was all the beginning of the movie. Did anyone else pick up the Of Mice and Men Steinbeck parallels at the beginning?
Oh yeah,
like a mentally challenged person that goes and works on a farm in Northern California, hurts somebody without meaning to hurt them, and has to go away because of it. To me, that was all very, very Steinbeck. So I like the movie a lot. It's absolutely not for everybody. You have to be invested in sitting down for 2.5 hours and not having any action
or any happy.
Right?
Yeah.
I did laundry during this movie, and I felt like I didn't miss anything.
I also did laundry during this movie. Well, I folded.
I didn't do the dishes during this movie.
I paid attention.
I wonder what people's attention spans are, because I watched this movie twice. I sat down and turned the movie on and watched it, and then stood up.
I did the same thing.
Eric, I said I didn't do the dishes.
I know you didn't just watch the movie.
I just watched the movie.
Well, this was a long. I mean, this was a long movie, but I did sit down and I watched it. I watched it through. I didn't give it short shrift. It's just like you said, this movie's not for everybody, and I'm one of those people that this is not for, because I can recognize that this movie is very well put together. Mm-hmm. Like everybody said, strong acting, gorgeous visuals, and the soundtrack is perfect for what it is. Like, that soundtrack is as equally complicit in making me feel like an uncomfortable piece of shit while watching this film as the actual film itself. But you know what? I don't, that's not my thing anymore. I mean, there are certain ways that I like to feel, and, if I wanted to feel sad and depressed, I'd just go to work.
Ha ha ha.
That being said, though, I know what'll cheer us up.
What?
The game.
Yeah, game.
Okay, so before we actually get started on the game, I want to make an announcement. A Mr. Ryan Hafer, I hope you're listening, because this week...
He listens.
Well, I'm glad he does, because this week, James is going to be playing for Ryan Hafer. And if James wins the game, we'll be watching Ryan's movie.
Yeah, Ryan's our first audience participant.
Hooray!
So,
this bullshit.
No, it's not bullshit. James, he picked you.
Yeah.
I appreciate him picking me.
He thought that you could win, that you could bring this home.
He believes in you, James.
All right, Eric, what's the game?
So this movie, at least to everybody but John, had some obvious correlation to Scientology, and an obvious.
This movie has people in it?
What?
So it was obviously a play on Scientology and L.Ron Hubbard himself. So what I want you to do for the game is pick a religion or a cult or whichever kind, and make an analog religion that it's not like this was the cause. It wasn't really Scientology, so you could do like the way instead of Christianity, and then pick your savior or your cult leader.
Whoa!
Wait.
So like,
oh man. So we're making up our own cultish religion, similar to but legally distinct from Scientology.
Yes, and
or no, from any religion,
yes,
right?
Any religion. And pick your figurehead and who would play them in the movie.
Oh man,
This is hard.
That was a big one.
I'll start it off. My religion is well, okay. I got everything but the name. Okay. So it's based off of Christianity, right?
All right. Nobody else can pick
it's
Christianity, by the way. Now.
Good.
All
Good
right.
night, everybody.
So, there is this guy who, is really, he's kind of a rebel. He kind of likes to shake things up. And, he's real hip. This takes place in the 1950s. He's really hip. And he's anti-establishment,
right.
Man. He's like Marlon Brando in the Wild Ones,
okay,
right?
Or yeah, maybe James Dean, Rebel Without a Cause.
Yeah, like James Dean, Rebel Without a Cause. And he's got a motorcycle, and he can like ride it across water, which is pretty cool. And he does this crazy mad trick with like these loaves of breads and his fishes and stuff. Like where he caters a picnic, because they forgot all these bread and all these
John,
fish, and he caters a picnic.
You gotta say that he just makes tuna fish sandwiches appear, right?
He makes tuna fish, yeah, absolutely. And then he makes like 50 of them appear, just like boom. He rides up on his motorcycle. By the way, he's played by William H. Macy. He rides up on his motorcycle, and he's just like boom, tuna fish. And it's just all there. It's like Sons of Anarchy, right?
I love tuna.
Except it's tuna fish sandwiches and PBR.
I watch that show.
He can turn.
So can you come up with a name for this, Johnny?
Please say tuna fishtianity. Sorry.
This is where I die.
This is where I die.
I got nothing.
Nothing. That's all right. Tuna fishtianity it is.
Tuna fishtianity.
Ah, shit.
That kind of makes me want a tuna melt.
Man, I ate.
Yeah. Oh, tuna melts.
I love tuna.
That's totally what it was.
Tuna's delicious.
Yep, William H. Macy.
All right.
Thanks.
I like it. Who's next?
Okay, I got one.
All right.
So, my religion is based on the idea that in your inner soul, you're not the person that you think you are. You're actually lurking in every single one of us is a famous British comedian, and they all have a British comedian's soul inside of us.
You came up with the name first, didn't you?
And that if you get down to the purest form of your personality and eliminate all the toxic influences in your life, you will be able to draw forth this witty British personality. And my religion is called Stephen Fryantology.
Oh.
Come on.
Come
on.
Well, do we all have different British comedians inside of us? Like, is James Eddie Izzard? Is John?
What a ludicrous question. Why would you even ask that question? You ass. You ignorant ass.
All right, Stephen Fryantology.
Nice.
I get it.
Jesus.
I like it.
I get it. Well, thank you.
And the symbol for my religion would be like a fish, right? Except in a sandwich. So it'd be like a tuna sandwich. People have it on their bumper stickers.
So, I think my religion is going to be based off of, what is Greek mythology? Hellenism or something?
Maybe like the Hellenistic pantheon. The Hellenistic pantheon.
It's Greek mythology. Only
it's going to be Hello Kitty.
Oh.
It's the goddess of us all. And she brings out the cute. Everyone gets cute. And it's the power of cute.
Okay.
I can dig it.
And I don't know. I'm making this up.
What are
you looking around your room?
So Hellenistic pantheology had a lot of temples and monuments built to the gods. What would like the main temple to Hello Kitty be?
It'd be like a Sanrio
Japan.
Japan. Oh my gosh, Japan's so crazy over Hello Kitty. They have like a Hello Kitty plane that you can take, and you get like a Hello Kitty boarding pass. The chairs are all pink and like.
Keep in mind, this is real life, not her religion.
I know, this is real life. You get like sushi and little Hello Kitty Sanrio characters, and
would that be how you get to the top of Mount Olympus and go to heaven? Is you take the Hello Kitty plane?
Yes, you take the Hello Kitty.
Okay,
definitely.
All right.
I'm taking the Carol plane.
Sanrio.
I'm taking the Batsmaru plane.
Batsmaru runs hell. Yeah,
Batsmaru is Hades.
The underworld.
Oh Lord.
Nice. James, what do you got?
Bring it home for Ryan, James. Bring it home for Ryan.
Lose on purpose. Keep it in house. Keep it in
James,
house.
I'm
just kidding, Ryan. I'm just kidding, Ryan. Thanks for listening.
James, I gave you the perfect opportunity to troll religious people, and I know that's all you want to do. You live your life to troll religious people.
Okay, alright, my religion, I guess, is, your goal in life is to, kinda live the most chill. You spend, 2 or 3, times a day imbibing certain substances to try to reach your maximum level of chill, and, well, it's not Rastafarianism, because, there's, the sacred act of disc golf, and, just trying to get, girls naked, or you can't get them naked, you try to imagine them naked, or, like, you really kind of dig the girls that, like, will wear the really short skirts, short shorts in, like, the summer. I like girls that wear Abercrombie and Finch, Chinese food still makes me sick, if you know what I'm saying.
Oh,
and,
God.
we are followers of, the one true righteous, bro who has ever lived in the past, and his name is Brohammed.
Yep.
Wow.
Bro. John won.
Yay! With tuna fish sandwiches.
Yeah, John,
that was pretty funny.
John, you were good, and you won. Good job.
I was drawing a blank on this thing.
We're sorry, Ryan.
Look, Ryan's my friend. I picked it fairly.
Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan, John's fucking delighted because he's been, as you know, as an avid listener, he's been kvetching every podcast that he never gets to pick.
Yeah, but finally
and
he came up with something good. John deserved to win this one.
I agree. But now he won't be able to think of a movie.
Shut up! I have one. Just give me a second.
You're not allowed to look around the room.
I'm not looking around the room.
Close your eyes. Don't blink.
I'm not gonna blink. Okay. Are you guys ready for next week's choice?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Okay. We are watching The Karate Kid.
All right.
Aww.
I watched that a couple of years ago.
The original with Ralph Macchio.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep, I
Pat
watched
Morton.
Ralph Macchio a couple of years ago. So, enjoy.
You know what? I've never seen this movie.
Really?
Yes, I've never seen it.
It's the best movie around.
It's the best around. No one's ever. I know the song.
Well, everybody knows the song. Anyway, thank you very much, Ryan, for contributing a suggestion. Believe me, I would have loved it had James won because I'm a big fan of Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Aww.
Yeah. Tabi, thank you.
Thanks for having me. This was fun, guys.
Yeah, thanks for being on, Tabi. It was good.
It was a pleasure.
So, next week, please join us for The Karate Kid.
Hi-ya!
Wow.
I love that. You can listen to our podcast on iTunes, the Stitcher app, or directly on our website. Feel free to send us a movie review suggestion. You'll have an equal chance of getting chosen for next week's movie review. You can reach us through social media, either by liking our Facebook page, John Hates Movies, or following our Twitter at John Hates Movies. Our music was composed by Kevin MacLeod. You can find this track and many more on his website, incompetech.com. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to hear someone say, Mermaid, 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 mermaid.